Hello guys, this is MKSHADOWNNNNJJJJAAAA and welcome to the Soul Calibur 2 walkthrough where I'll be playing through the arcade mode on not ultra hard, no, that it's not called ultra hard, it's called extremely hard, and I'll be completing arcade mode with each and every character on extremely hard mode, as well as playing Weapon Master mode. There'll be other videos which are based on that, and that's how I'm gonna unlock the other 5 characters, or other 4 characters. Yeah, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, because Charade has a slot at the bottom. Once I unlock them, then you'll be able to see their character endings as well as I play through them on extremely hard difficulty. The first character which I'm going to be playing as is Nightmare. So let's do this. Wait, before I actually play as Nightmare on extremely hard difficulty, it's time for a little story time! Nightmare is the physical appearance of the Solid Sword. He acquires the host which is known as Shutterfall inside his body, especially during the events of Soul Blade, Soul Calibur, and Soul Calibur 2. Nightmare was an original prototype which was used in the original Soul Blade. He was a character who was depicted at the end of Siegfried Schutzfahn's ending. And obviously if you've seen our walkthroughs, you would have seen him there. Obviously in that game he was just a prototype, which was displaying the future references to what Nightmare's character is going to be. Obviously the name not finalized until the very first Soul Calibur, where Nightmare's first appearance begins and you actually can play as him. Because of the anger that Cervantes had lost the match between Siegfried, Sophitia and Tucky during the events of Soul Blade, the Soul Edge in anger required a host as quickly as possible and therefore engulfed Siegfried Schutzfahn as the new host. Although particularly what's interesting is that Cervantes was a strong host as well, and especially Cervantes being the most feared character, now not being the most feared character and leading it up to Nightmare is very interesting and very funny, especially on his side of the story. Obviously frequent changes, especially if you've seen the original Soul Blade to Soul Calibur 1, the red armor is converted to the blue armor as the Azure Knight, as he wears the dark blue armor in order to resemble his iconic figure as Nightmare. Making his first appearance in Soul Calibur, he became an iconic figure as he searches for the shards of Soul Edge. Once acquired by Cervantes, he is the body that Nightmare searches in order to find the sword Soul Edge. Obviously, little did he know that he had revived Cervantes from the dead. And you know what happens when Cervantes revived from the dead? Yeah, he becomes a bigger piece of shit! And obviously that awoken Inferno, who's another depicted character in the Soul Calibur franchise, once known as Soul Edge. Soul Edge becomes his own unique character during the Soul Calibur franchise, as Inferno takes the place of what Soul Edge resembled as a physical form during Soul Blade. So obviously this was a quick story time. Now it's time to go back to the game and play this on extremely hard difficulty. Let us do this!
Versus Shanghua. Got you.
Yes, I got you right here.
Final battle. Fight.
Okay, so first opponent is Shanghua. She's ready to die. Okay, let's take her down. Take her down. Smack her again. Smack her one more time. Thank you. Your soul is mine now.
The greatest nightmare.
Oh, is there like a selection or something? I can choose like my favorite nightmare or something? Sup, Keelik?
Final battle.
Looks like you've become the next volunteer. So I could take your soul. Anyway, would that be by card or cash? Come on. No, you have to pay up.
You win.
Or especially at that time, since it's set in the 15th century, it would be gold, innit? Pay by gold. Charade is the next soul which I'm going to be taking. Smack. Oh wow, 28 seconds. And we're on stage 4. The one deadly combo, which is this one-hit combo,
Fight.
as I am performing. It's the easiest way to actually pass extremely hard difficulty using Nightmare. It's actually one of the easiest characters to pass with. Extremely hard difficulty.
You win. Come unto me.
Especially if you don't have patience. So if you don't have patience and you want to complete this on extremely hard difficulty, Nightmare is your character. You can do that so easily. But with other characters it does take time. So obviously combos are needed. But there are ways to actually take down all of the enemies. Doesn't mean necessarily that because you don't have Nightmare that's going to be a hard experience. No. With other characters the influence is timing. If you're good at your timing, you can do this. Okay, so Voldo is dead. Stupid Voldo. Always listening to your master in Versi. If you wanted to be with him, why aren't you dead? And you? Yes. Look at your sword like you're in love with it.
I will. Final battle. Fight.
Keep wanting to come into your greatest nightmare. Hopefully you brought like a selection. Maybe take it to the movies. Okay. And Sarugi died on the ground.
Darkness, come unto me.
Okay. Oh, we're already on the destined battle. This is cutscene.
You are too weak for that, aren't you? You conceited, wretched human!
That's right. You conceited wretched human! Nice way of showing hate to Raphael, which is great. And I got a perfect on this match. Raphael was too easy. He couldn't handle this. But if we're talking about the context of what took place just right now on this rival match, it doesn't really explain too much. Basically what happened was this takes place shortly after when Maxi, Keelik and Shangwa actually take the stronghold, which this place is however you say that word, the Ostrensburg. Yeah, I'm gonna call it Ostrichburg. Yeah, that's where Nightmare's castle is set. Okay, Inferno, I'll defeat your ass as well. But what's important to know is that Keelik and Shangwa managed to defeat Nightmare and escape, and that was with the use of the Soul Calibur, the sword-wielding, opposite polar weapon which can take down Soul Edge, because obviously Soul Calibur is built from the fragments of Soul Edge. Simple as. Okay, so it's gonna come out his ass. Yes, come out your butt. That's right. Such a dirty weapon. Make sure you clean it before you hold it.
Yes, this is...
So I'll come back to that moment right after when everything's finished. But I do want to reference this moment just right here, because I don't think this is given too much. This is very important when they show Soul Calibur and Soul Edge, because obviously, oh look here, this is resist the evil presence, the dormant soul within him awakens, right? And that's obviously Siegfried Shatterfall, because obviously Shatterfall is supposed to be the host in Nightmare's body, as Nightmare is only the physical appearance of the solid sword. What's important to know is that, especially with the two swords shown there, it actually leads up to Soul Calibur 3. Siegfried manages to escape after when Raphael fights Nightmare to a duel. That's where the whole rivalry began with Raphael and Nightmare, because Raphael sought power in order to get rid of the nobles so they wouldn't be after and he could live a carefree life with Amy. So what happened was, the sword is what Raphael needs. So they fight, and Raphael, just with enough amount of time, gets to stab the eye of Soul Edge, therefore numbing Nightmare's body, giving time for Raphael to escape, and eventually allowing Siegfried Shatterfall to escape. Therefore, there was no host in Soul Edge left. Therefore, what actually happened is Siegfried manages to get out of the body and stab the Soul Calibur sword into the Soul Edge sword, which therefore creates the Soul Embrace. Now, I won't get into too much information what a Soul Embrace is, but it's very important to know because it does lead up to Soul Calibur 3. And if you did watch Story Time, you would have seen everything from Soul Edge all the way to Soul Calibur 2. I only explain what happens in Soul Calibur 2 when I actually do eventually play as the character. When I do eventually play as the character. So, yeah. Thank you guys for watching. That was Nightmare side of the story. Extremely hard difficulty. Didn't lose once. You've watched the replay of that he manages to escape from the body. Although I have to say, I think his ending is partly true. Because obviously, he's not really a guardian. But he does actually become his own person after this many years. Especially when you see it as 4 years after the events that took place in Soul Calibur. Because during those 3 years, he was seeking souls. And finding souls for 3 years in order to resurrect his father. And not getting what he requested. Only seeking more power. Siegfried Shutdown 4 managed to escape. Actually, just previously to what takes place here and the lead up to Soul Calibur 3. He manages to escape. And he takes the sword with him. And he leaves basically everything. So he can go separately into his own place where he's actually away from everybody. And he has the evil only. But he always got nightmares. You see? Reference to nightmare. Nightmare giving him nightmares. And especially because of the sword, it gave the sword the advantage to take over Siegfried's body again. And when it did, Nightmare became even more stronger. And that's why he needed the shards. Because, okay, there's more information that's going to go into Cervantes' story. But what happened is, during the fight in Soul Edge, or as we say, Soul Blade, the swords broke into pieces. So, when you see multiple characters having Soul Edge, they're not the complete version. They're shards which are built together, and they mold together in order to forge a weapon. And it's like Soul Calibur. Whoever is given to it forges to the wielder's fighting style. And that's very important. That's what happened with Soul Edge, and that's why Nightmare needed more shards in order to create the complete Soul Edge. How is he going to do that? He's going to search, because obviously Romanian Valley, which is a place depicted in Soul Calibur 3, actually had a lot of that. But what's also important is that every other person does have a sword, like Cervantes, like Astaroth. Cervantes being resurrected during Soul Calibur 1. If you did watch the Story Time and you didn't skip, you would have actually seen that. So yeah, making the complete Soul Edge. Unfortunately, Nightmare failed. His new host in Soul Calibur 3 and 4 will be Inferno. I'll get into more detail for that when we actually play as Nightmare in Soul Calibur 3. Wow, that's a lot of information in 10 minutes. Okay, cool. Thank you guys for watching. Hope you enjoyed this video. You know what to do. Leave a like, write a comment. Subscribe to this channel. That's very important. Please do. And I'll see you guys on the next episode.